Hello, I'm Simon Bessler. I have actually never cooked in my life, but I've done extensive training on how to cook. I've just never actually done it.
My name is Bella. I don't know anything about MasterChef. I've never really had any experience with anything like this before, not as contestant or judge, nor even seen any content related to MasterChef. But I did briefly have sort of like artistic period where I experimented with food a little bit, and so I feel like that's really solid like experience, and just kind of that'll really push me through this competition, because I get the feeling these judges won't go easy. They want a masterpiece.
Hello, my name is James. I don't have any cooking experience, but I do have a degree in sociology, so I feel like that kind of trumps everything, you know.
I am M. Villas Chana, and I have an incredible amount of cooking experience. I am very Mexican, but yet European in the way it's not frightening.
Entering in now. Follow alumni Parker McGraw.
Yes, chef.
Yes. Hello, Judge.
For our second special guest judge, please enter.
Yes!
Follow alumni Orion Van Ness.
Pretty good.
At ease, chefs.
Good day,
Yes,
Chef.
chef. Yes, chef.
And last but not least, judges, we have one more special guest. Also joining you today for this, the 5th and final season of MasterChef Senior.
I've been tasked with giving you your recipe for your 3 courses that you will be making. Now, as you may recognize, you're seniors now. It's crazy stuff. So for your first course, I want you to envelop what it felt like, everything leading up to your senior year. What was kindergarten like, middle school like, all these childhood memories filled with good and bad things. What was that like? And I want that, all those memories, all that nostalgia pushed into a dish. Okay? All of that into a dish. Now, you can't get away with like a grilled cheese for this. I want that nostalgia to wrap up into something fancy, something memorable, not just your childhood favorite food. Okay, understood? I better see that. Now, second course, you're seniors now. What was senior year like? From the beginning to the end, from August until, well, foreseeably May. What did you do? All those memories, getting ready for graduation, picking out your caps and gowns, the bittersweetness of it all. I want that all enveloped in your second dish. And this is your main dish. It should be hearty like senior year was, you know? Good things, bad things should be good, okay? And now that you're seniors, you know, do something that could aspire to other seniors. This could be referring to both, you know, your age group and our 55 plus age group, you know, just being out there. And for your final course, as you look forward to your future, what does that entail? You know, you're leaving all this behind. What does future you want this course to look like? I do want it to be a dessert of some kind, something sweet, but also please contain something a little bitter, something a little spicy, because not everything is sweet in life, and you have to recognize that. And I want this incorporated in your dish, okay? So from start to finish, I want you to go through your life, through these dishes. And I want names for these dishes that encapsulate that feeling.
They're gonna give us like just flour to work with.
Is that for everyone, or is that just?
That is just for Bella and James. Thank you, Chef Noah.
I hope.
Yeah, are you ready to English major this up?
So in the Bessler household, there's this blanket. On one side, it's got like a pattern, and on the other side, it's mostly blue. And I'm always gonna think of the blue side as the prominent side, because when Simon and I were kids, we would lay the blanket down on the ground, blue side up, and pretend like it was a swimming pool or maybe the ocean, and we would pretend to swim in it. We would get, our swimsuits on, we would put goggles on, and we would, pretend to swim in this blanket. We would, get up on the couch and dive into the, into the blanket, and we would lie around and flail around pretending to swim. Yeah, we use that blanket for a lot more than just sleeping and keeping warm, And it's worth mentioning that we've had that blanket for before I can remember. There's photos of me maybe 1 or 2 years old wrapped in that blanket. So, it's withstood the test of time. It's still around. I used it last time I came to Arizona in December. So, yeah, there's a lot of time, a lot of love, probably a lot of saliva in that blanket. Yeah, a lot of love. So when you make this 3-course meal, I want this meal to taste like that blanket.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. No question.
Okay, so we just spit in 3 different
Yes.
bowls.
It's all saliva.
Got it. And I will hand it off to Casady to explain the rules of food today.
Of course. Chefs,
Yes,
you have received your recipes.
Yes, sir.
You know what is being asked of you.
Yes,
chef.
It's no easy task, and so we have spared no expense in the ingredients.
Yes,
If
chef.
you would please part, we will unveil what you'll be cooking with today. Before you is a collection of items that we like to call a college core. As you're all graduating seniors, it'll ultimately be up to you to have to scavenge, fight for what you can get, fight to live, fight to thrive. And in this case, you will see a variety of items, from store-bought things from the dollar store to Taco Bell hot sauce packets. There's some leftover McDonald's from the fridge. There is a slice of Fratelli's pizza that is 3 days old. Everything on this table is for you to use. However, you are not to use any of these ingredients for their intended purpose.
Yeah.
You cannot simply serve a pizza. You cannot simply make mac and cheese. You must repurpose these in a way that makes sense, that is effective, and does something creative for all 3 of your courses. Is it understood?
Yes,
Yes,
chef.
chef.
Yes, chef.
Fantastic. You will have 60 minutes worth of cooking time, but before that time begins, you will have 10 minutes to work with your partner to plan out your dish and kind of accommodate for things with a pencil and pad in front of you. Talk about what you would like to do with this. You'll then have 60 minutes of cooking time, and from there, Phoenix will take it over. But your time starts now.
What are the 3 prompts?
Okay, first one is
Equals saliva.
crap.
Yes.
It's
We have
like
saliva,
elementary.
and we also have
We
like,
have saliva, we have blue, we have
It's like
you know
we
what
have
we
dual
could do?
purpose.
Dual purpose.
Second one is
We could do
senior, and
like
then the third one is
a snack that you would have for the first course. We do a snack that you would have by the pool.
That's pretty, because you'd swim in it. I think for our second course, we should make it something that you can you can eat, but you can also do something else with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't,
Like play with it.
yes.
Like the meat from the burger, we could maybe use apples as
That's
bread.
fire.
Okay, let's do that.
That's about experimenting. Experimenting with food when you're young.
Swim, dodgeball, and just good, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
you're messing with stuff. You're figuring it out. It doesn't always taste good.
Okay, you think pool? What do you think?
I think applesauce.
I think applesauce.
What does senior year felt like to you?
This felt like just like emptiness.
I think
This is gold. This is gold.
It would appear this is about 50% of a $5 meal deal from McDonald's. Like little mac and cheese balls.
That's what I was thinking.
Mac and cheese ball. We use the Cheetos. We use like the corn. We use. I think for our soup.
To put it together.
okay. Let's see.
Instead of a soup, we make like a vodka beverage.
They have olive oil.
Dessert is the final
Do you
prompt.
guys need? Do you guys
And it's
want
our
any
future.
cheese?
Yeah, that's the future.
Do you guys
What?
want any cheese?
Yeah.
How much?
Take like 1 slice. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What are we doing for dessert?
That's our future.
That might be our future.
Wait a minute.
We can split the future.
true.
We can
Alright, you know
split the
what?
future.
Are we splitting the future?
We can let's split
The
the
future belongs to all of us.
Yes. Look at
And then we can split the.
How are you feeling about today?
Scared. Pretty scared.
Mildly terrified. The last time I judged one of these competitions, I did get violently ill and missed the Sonic the Hedgehog film. And then COVID happened 1 year later on the dot. I'm a little worried about some of the things they're planning over there. I don't know what you could do with one Kraft American single of cheese. So James has an interesting strategy there, but we'll see how it plays out. How are you guys feeling about that?
Well, I would say there is too many cooks in the kitchen, but also maybe a lack of sensible cooks in the kitchen. Therefore, I fear for my stomach, my well-being.
I think that the lack of culinary skill is actually going to bolster the dishes. You see, they don't have traditional food items, what you might have in a professional kitchen. So I think their lack of skill is going to bring a creativity to the matter that'll be quite engaging.
I believe my fellow judge is overestimating the skills.
You know, there's some good elements that could happen out here. 2 of them are dressed for not the occasion. The other 2 are dressed at least to be near a kitchen. I'll let you make up your mind on who that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm really scared about the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Specifically.
The Cheetos mac and cheese or the Velveeta cheese pie?
Oh, both.
Gotcha.
But it's just a horrible combination of cheeses. Like, it's just, that is all just chemically made cheese.
It's a 4-cheese blend, but all 4 are concentric circles of hell from Inferno.
Yes.
Nothing but confidence.
Are you guys using all the smoothie starter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. If we have leftover, we'll give it
There's
to you.
Alaskan pink salmon. Have you thought about that?
I never think about the salmon unless I imagine them jumping.
Wait, are you guys gonna use
the
chicken wing
mustard.
sauce?
Yeah.
All of it?
Probably not.
Your cooking time has begun.
Okay. What do we do?
Okay.
I want to get it started on the
Boil water. Boil
Yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Do we do it where like
I
one
think
person
you
handles
tackle
one
senior
crumb?
year. Yeah. Senior year,
Okay,
which is the
that's
main
perfect.
course. It needs to be like party.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, no.
Let's see what kind of appliance.
Huzzah.
It's protein. Senior year. 2 protein bars. Oh, there's 3. So 1 for each judge.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this?
Chicken. Okay. So
What
there's.
okay.
Well, wait a minute. We need bread. Or no, Eggos are gonna be the bread. What if we cut it in half this way, and then the sandwich is like in there? That's
I
original.
don't think it'll balance. Though.
That's original. It'll stand out.
I feel like we've got
Fits
like
the
a
prompt.
kite and string situation going on here.
Okay, you take 3 of these. I'll take 3 of these.
Alright.
Okay.
I don't like that we're already having creative differences, but yeah.
I'm sorry for being right. You know, this is.
You know what? Okay.
And now you took the knife, so I have to use the plastic knife to cut these, which is fine for me because.
Yeah. Your wit is so sharp, you can use that.
Toaster oven.
What can we use? Oh, for the Pop-Tarts.
Yes. No, Toastums. Toastums.
Sorry.
Don't ever.
For the
Don't
Toastum.
do that, Simon.
I'll never-
I swear to God, if you mess this up for me, it'll be the end of you. Fresh it up first.
There's a sauce.
There's a sauce. What kind of sauce?
I don't know.
Chefs, I see we have a cool, calm, collected aura coming from this side of the room.
Thank you.
Please explain to me what's going on here.
Keyword protein.
Protein.
Yeah.
Do you have any other words or just protein?
We have concepts of other words. But at this
Concepts?
point- Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I like
Bold.
to. We like to find things out as we go.
Yeah.
Like to go with the flow. We like to feel it as opposed to planning.
A breath of fresh air to cook. And pray tell, you say protein, but I pretty much only see carbs right now.
We have meat. Crab meat. We have chicken nuggets. We have sardines. Protein bars.
I'm excited to see what you'll cook up.
Thank you.
Alright. We've got to make a plan for dessert.
Egg roll here. Can you tell me more about this process?
Yeah, I got
It
it.
seemed accidental.
No, it was purposeful. We were given a industry standard Michelin star egg roll, You know, but we can't use the products as just themselves. That to transform it by taking the vegetable from within and adding it into our stir fry mix, and then taking the hard shell on the outside and using it as kind of like a crunch factor for the rest of our ball.
My concern is that does not look. I cannot touch it, but it does not look crisp.
Oh,
But we're gonna cook it.
Yeah.
Okay.
More.
With the corn?
No.
Okay, is the corn a separate dish?
It's going to be a binding agent for the balls that we're making.
Yes.
I do have my doubts. You understand this. The last time I did eat here, I got sick.
Well,
Yes, but
every chef who's come in contact with us has had their doubts, and we have blown them away.
don't worry. I've never cooked before, so I've never made anyone sick.
Throw the stir fry with the sweet corn.
So I've heard you guys are preparing protein, you said?
Yeah.
Now, I am actively a gym bro, so I am working on those gains. Is this gonna help me get swollen?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, as long as you eat it, within 30 to 60 minutes after your workout. So, but for now, I guess it's just for taste. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, I love protein.
Would you say it's macro friendly?
Yeah.
Because it's the shared
Right, I
experience.
like where it's going. Is that a 4-piece of McDonald's McNuggets right there?
I guess so. Yeah.
Excited to see what you'll do,
I
chef.
think just because then we can show colors,
That's true.
you know, and then we'll find straws somewhere.
Chef, what is this?
You gotta trust the process. So we deconstructed the vegetable egg roll, and we're gonna use the vegetable filling as a healthy bit of our balls that we're gonna make, and then this is gonna be the binding agent for that. We're gonna cook it up so it's gonna look different. Don't worry, it's gonna be transformed.
Can I put this in the stir
Yeah,
fry?
go for it.
I wouldn't say I'm quite excited to see what you're gonna do, but I will.
Oh, you should.
I'll be there.
You should be.
No, I'm not.
You should be so excited.
We don't know about Simon. He says he doesn't cook. He trained in the art of not cooking so much that he is backwards his way into becoming an incredible chef.
Oh, you've been saving the power of
Exactly.
cooking for this one meal.
Since I've never cooked before in my life, I just it's kind of like when you don't do pull-ups for a really long time, and then when you come back, you can do more than you've ever done before.
Right.
I never started, so I don't know actually how many I could do to begin with, but I'm guessing 50. You know?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Thinking I use this to connect the pieces so it doesn't fall off. So I guess I'm gonna have to. If you want it to be like a sandwich, then you're gonna want it to.
I could not stop thinking about this.
I think it's also from the...
Continue. What is...
So the prompt is senior year.
Yes.
It has to exemplify my senior year.
Yes.
And my senior year is filled with emptiness.
I think you should keep working
Not
on
in a-
talk.
Yeah, not in a bad way, Emptiness is a good thing. And protein I think is it serves a function, right? And I think
Oh, this is a scary color.
if you steal from me, I'll steal from you, okay? You do not want to start this, okay?
They don't have any... Oh! The shrimp seasoning! The shrimp seasoning! I forgot about the...
I'm not falling for that.
Oh wait, we should put it in later, and then so we can have a vegetarian option and the meat option. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because Casady's a vegetarian. Pescatarian, my bad.
So the shrimp's fine.
The shrimp's fine. The shrimp's, it's seasoning. It's shrimp. It's not real shrimp. Hello.
Shrimp seasoning.
When you're a kid and you're playing on a blanket, it's blue. It can be what? A pool? An ocean? What lives in the ocean but a shrimp?
My point.
My question for you is, what did the blanket have to do with any of that?
That's our...
Oh, did you see the...
It's a whole thing.
It's an inside thing.
We have to make this
Like Bo
meal
Burnham.
represent- Don't worry, I'm gonna stir it.
Yeah.
Me and my brother's childhood blanket that we like.
The techniques.
Our goal is kind of community in this blanket, and one shrimp individually. Not a lot of community there. Very weak, very individual, very unpowerful. A large colony of shrimp could take down a whale.
This is my witch's brew. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. The stir fry is within my grasp.
I'm scared. The future is scary.
You know, I see the chefs observing my protein dish, and I see them laughing. I feel like that really, they don't get it. What if, because the idea is in the future we're gonna be on a beach.
Yeah.
What if we have some crab in the drink?
Maybe you can put it on the side.
You know, I just hate it when people laugh when I give an idea. You know?
I was just so inspired
so
that my
invalidating.
inspiration bubbled up in the form of mirth, which is the original emotion, okay?
Yeses. Should we put the sauce in there? Like, why not, right?
We should try it first.
So, how are you feeling about first impressions? We're about 10 minutes, 15 minutes in.
Well, I'm quite interested by what's happening over there. It looks like it's going in maybe an English direction, especially bland bread and sardines right on top.
I wouldn't even call it an impression, really. I am lacking of impressed, honestly. I'm appalled by the techniques and the approaches they're taking. Almost seem a bit rash, maybe not well thought through. But you know, I'm keeping an open mind. Like maybe a cracked open kind of mind.
I've noticed that Bella's been doing a lot of running around, doing dishes and errands, leaving James mostly to his own device. And in that time, James has decided to create what I can only describe as Hot Pockets.
See that?
Filled with 3 types of protein. That is a Special K cereal protein bar, imitation crab meat, and what presumably the chicken nuggets from the leftover McDonald's. I don't know if they plan on heating those up. He is using a kitchen knife to cut bread, which is a little interesting.
I can only describe the method or the food they're making as British style. Has very Brit aspect.
It's like filling, not really good.
Yeah,
it's not something
it's
you want to eat.
like an equivalent of beans on toast.
Except that's a far better combination, as much as it pains me to say.
How do you feel about Simon and Em over here with their kind of? I'm not sure. Quite frankly, it was corn and presumably vegetables in the pan.
Paper towel.
The issue is when I went to go speak to them, they started talking about blankets and shrimp and whales, and I'm just concerned.
Real funny, but they're doing an actual
Food to taste like a blanket.
But if it tastes like a blanket, that might leave me rather surprised.
No.
We're in the process of making our drinks. And
Our drink that
says community, right?
Yeah.
This blanket's about community. Everyone's gonna communally share from this drink.
Today, can I ask what your plan is? What direction you're taking this? I hope the one that was given to you.
Okay, listen up, Phoenix. So, you know how life doesn't have a plan?
Right?
And you know how our prompt is life?
I see.
I feel like you can make the connection.
Okay. Can I ask what the English muffin nugget tuna salad?
I think you should actually ask the
Senior
master.
year. Yeah.
How does it, what kind of representation is that?
Well, it's a protein dish,
Okay.
and it's also very simplistic.
What course
There's
is
no
this?
spot.
What course is this? The first, second, or third?
Second.
So, okay. So this is your main dish to represent how senior year's been going for you.
Oh, we're boiling, baby. I'm actually, I don't think I've ever seen pasta boil on this show.
Maybe because we're gonna mix it. What else are we adding?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, how's it going?
Are you a narc?
I haven't gotten to speak to anyone today since cooking. How is it?
It's actually going really successfully. We are successfully boiling water over there, which I have never seen before on this show.
Journalism as a career. What else are
Our vegetables are genuinely smelling
smell
pretty
that.
good.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving a really nice
A nice
sense of kitchen.
aroma,
Yeah,
you know? Gotta feed the nose and the eyes before you feed
the mouth.
I'm just concerned that nobody's been using mashed potatoes because like this is such an easy thing to incorporate. It's a little bit of
I also feel like there's something about potatoes that just speaks to me. It makes me feel all warm inside.
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing's going on. Nothing's going on.
I don't really appreciate.
Nothing's going on.
How close
I'm just
you
looking.
are
I'm
to
just
my
taking a
dish.
look. I'm just taking a look, dude. I'm just taking a look. Okay? Is that a crime? Is it a crime to just look?
No.
Okay. I got more chicken.
Oh yeah.
What's up, man?
Oh no, actually I would say one.
You're out of line. Okay.
What's up? Come on.
I
What's up?
cut that chicken nugget. I cut it perfectly. You've already stolen another chicken nugget from me.
You can get on with a tie around here. Simon's got a tie.
And you know what? You know what? You know what, man? It's time we get serious.
Well, they were $3.
It's time we go into business. Okay?
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay? You're not gonna know what happened. You're not gonna know.
That's it.
We were also
Okay?
I'm done with this.
It's done.
You think you're better because you have a tie.
chili peppers or the garlic. I'm sorry, what's the thing happening over here?
Yeah, I have a tie.
Where'd our strainer
What's it?
go?
I don't. Oh, it's over there.
How's it going?
Good. I'm trying to get my chicken nugget back.
What's your vision for your 3 cups of blood with fruit in them and what looks like wood chips?
So, okay, basically, this dish is our dessert and it's supposed to represent the future. And so when we were thinking about the future, we feel like it's going to be in like a tropical setting. You know, everybody envisions themselves being, you know, like rich and like in the Bahamas or like on an island. And so we wanted to evoke kind of like a beachy sand vibe, but I wanted to go for like a more mature color palette because yellow for sand is kind of lame. So we did like this more like sultry brown color for the sand. And we have these like mocktails here to kind of like, you know, give that feeling of like the future and what we have to look forward to. And but they've got like little remnants of the past because, you know, we've got like a base of this Red Bull and that's very college-esque because, you know, you take your college experience with you and the future's also full of energy.
Sure. James, thoughts?
I think it was mostly me who came up with this idea.
My hands are always slightly wet, and I don't know why.
I don't like getting bean. I did just witness Simon throw
One.
a cheese slice into that pot.
You know how they say cook with love?
Yeah.
I cook with adventure.
Are you worried about keeping frozen ingredients next to a hot plate?
No,
Okay.
because they weren't frozen.
They
to
were
begin
frozen.
with.
Okay.
Hey, man. What's up? You have an issue? You have a problem? You have an issue?
I have a number of issues, but I'll let them know during the
Okay.
process.
Okay. Great. We're trying to cook right now.
One of those issues is your egg roll is still not crispy, and I was told it would be.
That's going in the toaster oven. We just haven't formed it properly yet.
Okay, I mean the toaster oven's behind you and it's empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're getting there.
I just want to make sure you're clear on that.
I'm very clear on a lot of things. And one is you're in our way.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm standing well outside
In
the
our
range
way.
of what you're doing.
You're right in our way.
As of right now, it is
So we should add water.
for our
Get some water.
for our visually impaired viewers. This is what I would describe as a
like a-
okay. Come on. It was what I would describe as a paste,
Like-
construction
Yeah,
material,
perfect.
bonding agent,
Perfect.
and now it's that with water in it. So.
You said more liquid. So how do we make this?
We put those in there and then we form them with our washed hands.
Yeah, and we put like flour in it, of course.
I've never seen somebody butterfly chicken nuggets.
Yeah, well, it's it's new and inventive. It's never been done before, so of course it's going to cause some controversy.
It is a few of those words, yes.
We made an agreement, right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You said you were gonna give us one of these.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
We gave you a fruit roll-up.
We will take the fruit roll up.
I don't
back.
remember. Well,
The trade was fruit roll-up.
We will
for an
take
English
it back,
muffin.
even if it is used.
One way or another.
Just-
what
pay up.
about we have pizza crust with that? Because it's kind of a similar.
That would actually
texture?
work. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I need one of those though.
Yeah, we don't.
I need 2 of those. There's 3.
No, there are 2.
Okay,
You get
I
one,
need-
I get one.
Yeah.
1.5.
No.
You're pushing your luck, Buster.
Yeah, just put it. Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Where does it keep going?
Garnish with something here. I think that would look cool.
I thought about that. I can't.
For religious reasons?
For philosophical reasons.
I think what we're doing is against every religion. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
There's also no peanut butter in here. I don't know what I was expecting. We washed our hands. They're following food handler's license rules.
I do have a food handler's.
I also have a food handler's license. That's important to make for the audience.
I handle food.
I work for a pizza business.
The plastic here is on top of the burning surface.
Oh God.
We have over this way.
James.
I didn't put it there.
This
Variety
is the pizza thing.
That's their name tag. We got the McDonald's bag. That's okay. This is a concern. That's also a concern. It's dropping water casually in your electrical appliances. I would use a pot for that.
And we're gonna... Don't do that. Don't take our chicken. I poke a hole in it. Okay.
I low-key don't think this is gonna taste horrible, and I think that's the worst part.
What is this? Ranch? Ranch dressing.
It's crisped up.
I find myself coming back to this pan, and every time I do, I feel like a new trial has fallen before me.
Do we want any organic raw pepitas? But adding a little bit of childlike one.
I don't think you've ever been to
You know, we haven't stolen a single thing. It's because we took all of the ingredients we needed beforehand. We had like prep plans, right? We knew exactly what we were doing, right? You know, we were collected.
We have like 10 minutes.
Right, yeah, and I appreciate that, but like...
It's been 3 minutes since I...
Maybe my onion...
You have a really good intro.
Look at me go.
That was incredible.
So you said you were a chef?
No, but you know, I have a degree in military history. So I feel like that kind of...
Right, I mean, militaries have to eat.
I should put the food
Yeah.
roll-ups in.
But usually they can, you know, cut up the onion.
No, yeah, but it's kind of the knowledge. It's like
This
the,
cutting board has not seen cutting board use for a very long time.
I'm not so sure I want to chew.
I know.
So much? Yeah. I haven't. Here at the bottom.
It's like a surely no
Aren't the cherries supposed to be on top?
I noticed you're doing a fine dice on chicken nugget. How do you plan on cutting the fruit roll up?
With the knife.
Okay.
Maybe.
Or, you know, mustache. Let's do a mustache.
Mustache. You know, you
It's
gotta
more
be
classy.
distinguished, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? We're basting, like with steak, you know?
Yeah! Let's go!
Yes, yes! Okay, we got this. We got this.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Fine dining is about simplicity. It's about that's one is good.
This reminds me much of the classic Disney film Lady and the Tramp, when they have a spaghetti dinner, but instead it's ramen that's being cooked in a science room.
You took off the
What
seashells
things?
from...
What things? Literally, what things?
You took these off.
What? What?
This is important because this
What
kind
is
of...
it?
We need to focus on the details.
What details? What are you even talking about? What are those?
They're seashells.
I've never seen these before. Take them away.
They're seashells because it's like the beach.
What is that? Take them away.
We already discussed this. Okay?
Nope. What are you even
No,
talking
you
about?
can't just go back on your plans.
What plans? I've never seen
Our
those in my
plan.
life.
I'm rather concerned that there's still a whole onion sitting over there that's not been touched by a knife, and we have less than 5 minutes remaining.
I'm also wondering where the mustard is, because they have mustards and sardine sauce, and they have the spicy brown mustard on their table.
I'm also scared that one of our contestants might cut their fingers on accident.
2 minutes remaining, chef.
You're ready, man. Hello?
We're so good.
Hey, respect the host.
Sorry,
5 points.
sorry. No.
M.
Phoenix, I love you.
Plus 5 points.
Thank you.
We have a sandwich for you.
Look, man. It's either the caterpillars or the leaves.
Those aren't caterpillars.
It's the caterpillars or the leaves.
Caterpillars. There's no caterpillars on the beach.
It's the caterpillars or the leaves, man.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to like give it depth.
It's the
I'm
caterpillars
trying
or
to give
the
this
leaves.
complexity here, and you know that's
Well,
I think our least
you're creating
complex
complexity
stage.
in this relationship. So.
60 seconds.
I'll work that. Guys.
Dude, we're
seconds.
done. High five.
Let's just make it part of it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's clean up a little
With a
bit.
knife.
This is gonna work though.
With a knife.
We're gonna make this work.
10,
Fine. We're done.
Good, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off.
Did you put the stuff here?
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We were team best friend.
Yes.
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 Yes. I think the judges are gonna like our food. I think they're gonna love the mac and cheese
Yes.
balls.
Those put a lot of faith into that. as our
perfectly
greatest
cooked,
item.
nice and crispy,
Healthy
veggies in them,
fajita veggies,
fajita veggies, and also egg roll veggies.
I would have stopped James from melting plastic onto the stove. That is what I would have done.
That's uncalled for because I had everything under control.
I would have stopped James
You
from
were-
melting.
I was holding
I'm
everything
sorry, that didn't
together.
even make it into the dish. Why would you waste your time cooking the plastic?
Who messed
Why
up?
would you waste energy cooking the plastic?
Who messed up the ramen? Who messed
I
up
didn't
the
touch
ramen?
the ramen. I
Yes, you
didn't
did.
touch the ramen.
Yes, that was your dish.
Your hair looks like ramen.
Let's start with Simon and M. Present your appetizers.
Do you want this or do you want me to take it?
You can take this one.
Okay, so we made you a drink to start off the night of. I don't want to sound pretentious, but to state of delicious tasting. So, as you might know, our criteria was the blue blanket that represents my brother and I's childhood, and we used to swim in it. And so this kind of represents a drink. You can swim in it if you want, or it represents kind of a drink that you would have on the side of a pool or on the beach. You know, a nice fruity mocktail, as you could say. And it's just, I want our experience to remind you of young childhood.
Well, just from observations, to represent the blue blanket, the drink is red.
Well, I
I'm a
should have
little-
clarified, there are, one side's blue, it looks like water. The other side is very colorful and it has a lot of patterns on it, so.
That's not the only thing you need to clarify. I believe you do need to clarify some of the solids in your beverage as well.
Have you ever had a Shirley Temple? There are cherries at the bottom.
There are cherries at the bottom, but there's no chunks of things in the Shirley Temple. There's CO2.
Oh, we added more, because fruit.
Yeah.
It was a bold choice to have such a inconsistent texture. And
Kind of like the inconsistency of childhood.
or vomit.
The biggest issue that I had was when I tasted the acidity was so strong that I took up that fruit roll piece and the part that had been touching the liquid had turned translucent and was basically gone. And it's no laughing.
Like childhood. I disagree with my fellow judges, and I think what you did here was pretty okay.
If Bella and James would bring up their appetizers.
What we have for you today are what we have fondly dubbed the saccharine sliders. And saccharine is supposed to kind of be a reference to the sort of satiated childhood experience of just sheer joy and happiness that you kind of only experience during that time of your life. And what the actual dish is meant to emulate is when you're a kid, you have a bunch of different favorite foods, and you're kind of under the impression that all of those favorite foods will taste good together. And so, you know, you might have done a lot of experimenting with foods as a child, you might have done a lot of mixing of different things, and so we've kind of attempted to recreate this here in a little bit more of an elevated way for your judging pleasure. Childhood favorite foods, including but not limited to waffles, French fries, fruit roll-ups, applesauce, ramen, you know, kind of doing a little bit of a cross-cultural thing there.
This is a British person's worst nightmare.
I want to make sure everybody gets. What is the Is the red the fruit roll up?
Pardon?
The red the fruit roll up?
Perhaps?
Okay.
Wow, what to say?
Wow.
What is on top here? Is that
your mouth.
is that I'm just before I bite into. I just want to know what I'm ingesting. No, I know that. What's
mustache?
Can we get an underside carriage? I really am trying to avoid biting into this all I can. I don't know what is red that is bled through, but I just also now realize the bottom of this is a frosted waffle.
You know what?
Can I borrow this?
I like it. it's on. Well, let me get the French fry in here. Hold on.
It's meant to be an experience full of excitement and mystery and intrigue and confusion. Because, you know, you make your best efforts in childhood to create the kind of experience that you want, but a lot of the time you get a little bit of all of that. Because that's just what being alive is.
I had so much faith in these fine chefs here today, and it has been ripped away from me.
Most impressively, the fact that nothing is falling out.
I don't
like.
Oh, like a DQ cup.
Children are really sticky.
The topping is also not falling off.
I think what you did here today was an achievement. Of what kind? Not exactly sure where to put my finger on that. But I am going to eat this whole thing. I like this. And I am the only one on this table in college. And this is probably something I would really sleep deprivedly make. So.
Simon and Em, if you would bring up your second course for the judges.
Before you see this, think dodgeball.
A film or the activity?
Because I'm supposed to dodge this dish?
This blanket of Simon and Noah Bessler's was dual purpose. It was multi-purpose even. It was a blanket, sure, to keep warm, healthy.
To sleep on,
To
slobber on. You are so lucky we did not spit in any of these dishes.
Yes.
As far as you know.
As far as you know.
But more than that, it was a tool for creativity, a tool for childhood essence, you know, a tool of memories from the past. And so we want to make this dual purpose. As you may want to eat it, sure. It can also be used as a dodgeball.
Every bite is hard to get through. It's almost elastic. And therein lies the problem. But I will say, it almost has this loaded nachos kind of appeal. This is something that I could see myself buying in a bowling alley that is on the verge of bankruptcy.
Pasta is horrifically overcooked. Everything is gummy. The egg roll is not as crispy as you promised it would be. We talked about this. The bottom of the pasta is incredibly overcooked. In particular, you can see the burnt bits here that kind of congealed together.
I'm actually kind of impressed. This, well, not anything I would want to be served in a proper restaurant. It's the closest thing we've gotten to food so far.
Choose your words carefully.
It is a little overcooked. The noodles are a little overcooked. But I do, again, kind of like it.
Prompt for our main course was senior year, and the emotion that I wanted to give was nothingness. Because senior year is a year where that's filled with so much that you have to simplify parts of your life. You have to compartmentalize. And I created a system for this. I wanted to, kind of make like a reverse sandwich where the two sandwich parts are like that. So that it's like this. So I took a protein bar, and I I sliced it perfectly to create a system. It's like a Lego. So you kind of insert, you know, one half of the sandwich into the other, and I call it the protein pounder. And you know, and it's really my magnum opus. I feel like, you know, when I come home every day, Carly's strategy is to not focus on taste. It's endurance food. It's endurance food. And it's, you know, it's a new thing. I'm trying to, you know, because I'm a very inventive person. I have a degree in military history, and I don't really have any cooking experience, but.
Evidently so. So one immediate problem I'm realizing is we have English muffins again.
Have never once in my life felt this much dread for anything in my life. This smells rancid, and I believed.
Why is it like a Lego?
It is like, it is. Did you cut? What is this McNugget glued on with?
Senior year is pain. That's cheese. I melted cheese and I drizzled it on the. So that the chicken nuggets can stick to the bread.
I never once looked at a Lego and thought I want to eat that. And
I need you to be honest with me. Are there sardines in here?
Yeah, I think. I tried to find the foods with the highest protein content because it's the protein pounder.
If I don't get swole, if I don't gain a pound of muscle from one bite of this, I'm gonna be severely disappointed.
It's only taking like 30 grams of protein.
I'm going to be incredibly honest. When you dry heave and you taste it, but it doesn't come up fully, that is the smell.
That is what it smells like.
Exactly.
Bottoms up, boys.
I don't even know what to say about it.
It's high in protein, so you should like eat it over like a period of time.
It's kind of like hardtack. It keeps.
I've had hardtack. I've made hardtack, and it's far better than this.
If I were to eat a rotting animal, that is the flavor I would describe this as.
Usually when you have a bad dish, it doesn't linger. Cranberries. And in this case, it's really good. And not this, the album.
Yeah.
This, the taste is not going away. Next dish, please. No, we're like, this is terrible, awful, catastrophe.
You're welcome, you know. I'm trying to, open up your mind. I'm trying to give you new experiences.
Next. I just had to like renew several faiths.
Phoenix, pull up your stool.
Oh my god, it looks normal.
It looks like food.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right.
There's no sardines. There's no sardines on the plate.
This is a dessert sandwich of, if you may, and similarly to how. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. How childhood is such a pure existence of. Look, kids love sugar, man, right? This is just sugar.
It also, of that blanket, is reminiscent of the pattern side, the side of fun, the side of color, the side of joy.
The side of adventure.
That's why we decided to make a dessert peanut butter and jelly for you, using a toastum as the bread to really hammer in that dessert aspect of it, and some crumbled walnuts on top.
And we tried to plate it as nice as we could with a little, So you can dip it in the applesauce. And we actually decided to substitute the applesauce and the fruit juice instead of using our saliva.
It's giving me coffee vibes, in a way. I also like that this looks like food.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
I'm impressed by that, as well as the fact that I like the way that it's presented here. However, I have to say that, again, I'm not seeing a lot of change in these Pop-Tarts, or what did you call them?
Toast-Toast.
This is probably my least favorite thing you guys have made so far.
Really?
Yes. But I'm not saying it's bad. I wish there was more smoothie filling. It was like smoothie filling on one end and the other, and then nothing in the middle. It also, I like that it smells like actual, like a garden. I don't know how you achieve that. It doesn't taste like mud, but it's murky almost in your mouth. Like it's very just.
Kind of like how murky childhood memories can become.
More like Merc and Meyer. This is simultaneously too stiff, very wet. I wasn't expecting it to be as Meyer-like. Like it's like a swamp soup. A moisty Meyer form. And I'm gonna be honest, the flavors don't work. This is visually the best thing we've seen.
It tastes like a wet blanket.
It does actually taste like a wet blanket. It's the saliva taste.
I'm confused. Because on the one hand, the texture is like the smoothie, which kind of makes sense. The taste is a bit like a smoothie. And what's the best thing I think I've had so far today? It's just confused as to what it is. What is this?
For this dish, which is our dessert, we're calling it Paradise Found because it's meant to represent our future and how we visualize the future. You know how when you're an adult, you kind of have to decide between a drink or a dessert because for some reason that's just in the rules for being an adult? But we kind of took inspiration for that here and decided to do kind of like a mocktail cocktail vibe, bring it back a little bit full circle. And so here, what we've decided to represent is the idea of drinking this like fruity tropical drink on the beach. However, we thought yellow was a little bit too childlike for the sand, and so we decided to go with a little bit more of like a neutral, like earthy tone. Just, set the color palette here, and we chose small portions to be a sort of cheeky reference to a shot glass because that's something you do when you're an adult.
Is this oregano on top?
It's garnish.
This has the consistency of...
What is this?
Cough syrup?
There's a ramen mix in this.
Yeah, I thought it would be aesthetically pleasing. I thought it would be like...
This actually looks like soil.
You have to add the chunks for the full dish.
You guys ready?
experience.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're in this together. Strap it in.
All right.
Here we go.
Ready?
Yep. Oh god. Oh my god.
It tastes like a cough drop. I will take this cough syrup thing over your main course any day.
I'm still also smelling the tuna and the salmon that's in front of me on the tablecloth.
There's like a contrast between the protein pounder and the what is this? Paradise Found. Is that it?
I do see.
You know, I like the two things you have having here. The drink is interesting, if not terrible. These just don't go together, and this doesn't scream dessert to me. This screams, I found a bunch of chip bags underneath a dumpster somewhere, and I kind of poured them into one container and then started eating them like a raccoon.
If you would please take back your dishware, and then we will have our contestants exit, and our judges can begin discussing the dishes.
I think we've got this in the bag.
The protein pounder. Who wouldn't like the protein pounder?
The protein pounder is a lot of things, but one thing it is a definitive character with its own spirit. And I think that'll really help carry our team.
I'm nervous. No, that's a lie. I'm not nervous. I think we're gonna win.
I would be nervous if I didn't see, smell, and taste the protein pounder myself.
I think I'm confident with even just seeing it and seeing the genuine fear in the judge's eyes when they brought that up.
All right, so judges, what are your feelings on the dishes? Do you have any highlights that you want to start with first? Any immediate comments you have on their work?
I have never had my taste buds so insulted with a constant barrage of it's Lovecraftian. I can't even describe it. Remembering it is just as hard. It's like a waking nightmare.
I like most of the stuff. I know you two didn't like James and Bella's first dish, but I honestly enjoyed it. I thought the flavors mixed well. They put applesauce with the fruit roll-up, and that made it work for me. On the waffle. If the waffle wasn't there and it was just English muffin, I probably would have been more opposed, but that was pretty good. And the drink wasn't too bad. That Em and Simon did. I thought it came together nicely. Although I just can't get past Bella and James's protein pounder.
The immediate thoughts that come into my brain are predominantly dread, fear, an overwhelming sense of pain, and an inability to articulate my thoughts cleanly. And so as I stare into the middle distance and wonder what may have become of me had I chosen anything else to do this evening, film, be a contestant, work the production board that Finley's working right now. Every doorway I open is infinitely better than this one. This is a reality in which there's no hope. There's only suffering. And it's not just the suffering for the sake of suffering as presented in 1984 in Book 3. It is a suffering built solely from the self-infliction that I have brought upon this body, and this mind, and this consciousness, and this soul. Nothing here was of redeeming quality, food-wise. That being said, do I feel Bella and James more explicitly followed the prompt? Yes. I feel like they encapsulated high school as an experience. It starts off perhaps promising, a little naive, Parker. It quickly accelerates into misery, chaos, a blinding sense of rage, the inability to feel, to be felt, to be held, to hold. And then it ends with confusion, but less so. That beverage was cough syrup. Unequivocally, without any doubt in my mind, I think they have been deceitful and they lied to me, and they will pay dearly for it.
But
don't talk yet. And they did not work well together, but nor do people. That mac and cheese was really overcooked. And that drink was disgusting.
I don't think so.
I think to say that James and Bella won would be a monument to man's incompetence, to being blindsided by complexity. They were complex, yes, but they were of the essence of what you find in the bottom of your sink. The stuff that you want to forget in the plumbing, in the routes, in the lines of sewage and waste. I never want to eat from the garbage disposal. Food from the other team was far more edible, if not disgusting in and of itself, but it wasn't a cruel amalgamation of themes that did not go together.
I would agree that the other team was more edible, but there's something to be said about that protein powder. That Moby Dick of my Herman Melville's novel of the same name. That is without a doubt the worst thing I've ever eaten.
The food was food, almost. I thought it was pretty good, to a certain extent. You know what? As on me, right? Between you and me, I think these two are a bit dramatic. Okay. At the end of the day, it's just a little bit of food, all right? It's not. But I do think overall, James and Bella followed the prompt. But it is heartwarming to see how Simon really took his brother's statement of wanting the food to taste like that blanket, and you know what? They achieved that, all right? That dessert tasted like a wet blanket. That mac and cheese tasted like the protein pounder. It doesn't matter how much protein is in it if you can't eat more than one bite.
Okay, I think we have our winners.
I think we can call him back in.
Okay, let's call him back in.
I'm so confident. I'm so confident we're gonna win.
There's no world in which we don't win.
There is not a single multiverse that we lose.
We are in the multiverse of madness with the way it could be madness if we don't win this.
Yeah.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
FR.
We're gonna win.
I feel like we stand a very good chance. I foresee us potentially winning this. I think that, again, just like our harmony, our teamwork, our cohesive vision, the fact that we didn't argue even once, like, I feel like
Not
the judges can taste that.
Yeah.
And, you know, they might have had some reservations about some things, but overall, I liked the looks on their faces, particularly Judge Parker's.
Welcome back. We have brought back our contestants to see the results of their dishes and of the judging session. So I'll hand it over to our judge Orion to explain the appetizers and go down the line.
Chefs, it was very evenly matched first round. Between James and Bella's concoction and the attempt at a mocktail. Although mocking it was, there was no tale of anything delicious.
Chefs, your main course, you know, there was a big difference in between the two. Em and Simon, you presented us with mac and cheese plateaus, I would call. And they, I thought, were pretty delicious, you know. The noodles were a tad overcooked, and it was an amalgamation of sorts that turned out to be mostly edible. And you know what? The flavors went pretty well together. They complemented each other. Bella and James. The protein pounder, as you would call it, was truly something I would have never thought could be made by... It felt like it was made by a child because of how uncomplimentary the flavors were.
When it came to your desserts, this is a hard one. Well, one of them was wet. But the first dish, Em and Simon, your dessert smelled like soil. It had the consistency of soil. The inside looked a lot like soil. And at the end of the day, the taste was not much better. And none of it tasted like a wet blanket. It just tasted like a garden. But like not a well-tended garden, like a really poorly created one. And tended. Now, going over to Bella and James, coming off of that second dish, you delivered without a doubt the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. Unequivocally, just like nothing else could possibly do that.
The protein powder was better?
No, it was the worst thing I've ever tasted. And in the dessert, your dessert, as bar low as it was, coming off of that, felt like I was honestly eating a prime rib. The cough syrup was not good. I'm not sick. I probably will be after this, so maybe it's preventative, and I thank you for that. But it's okay. And then the ramen vegetable Pop-Tart knockoff pretzel like pub mix thing was actually really good. And that to me felt the most like a college student thing. It's just like, well, I got these Pop-Tarts, I got pretzels, I can make like a Chex Mix type thing, right? It makes a lot of sense. I can see a college kid looking at a pretzel and being like, that's a Chex Mix. I'm like, put that together. And the ramen packet vegetables, because they're not gonna put them in the ramen, why would they? Put them in this thing, use them there. So like, I think you guys were the clear-cut winner in that regard. Of one half of your dish was passable, and the other team, Em and Simon, 100% of your dish was not passable.
I believe Marlo should present the verdict, I think.
Okay.
It was a pretty even matchup. Okay? It was pretty even across the board. But there is one team that came out just a little, with a little bit of an edge, seeing that there was one team that I could have multiple bites of each of their meals. So the winner of this MasterChef, the the final MasterChef is M and Simon.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef. Thanks.
Congratulations to our contestants M and Simon for your victory on the final MasterChef of our channel. Thank you so much for attending this season, judges. We appreciate all of your input and your verdict. And I wish we could say we'd see you next year, but that won't be the case. Let's give our congratulations to our winning team.
We deserve to win. We made the best meal, but what cannot be overstated enough is that we did not deserve to lose. We did not make the protein pounder.
Yeah, I don't know if we deserve to win, but we definitely didn't. The other team didn't deserve it more.
I honestly feel like we were robbed, like, because the scary part was really just that moment when, like, my confidence, my adrenaline just dropped, because it's like, what do you mean? Like, we were robbed.
Yeah. How could you not like the protein pounder?
I think Mr. Casady is going to be very glad that this was the last season, and I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet, because this has been like my project since 8th grade. It's fun that it's come to a close, and
I am glad that I got to be a part of it, because when I first joined journalism, I knew I wanted to be in MasterChef, and I'm glad I got to fulfill that dream. And I'd say I got to do mostly everything I want to do in journalism before I got to graduate, and I only was here for like 2 years.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And hopefully there will be another insane, kind of sad 8th grader that comes up with a really crazy and expensive shoot that makes Casady drive himself into a wall multiple times.
I mean, I'd rather be doing this than play Food Chain Magnate again.
Yeah,
So,
that was bad.
And that's really where I think this stems from. And so
yeah, and you know, thanks for coming along for the ride.